Can learning about the past really help us with the complex dilemmas of today's world? I'm Roman Krznaric, and welcome to Hope from History, based on ideas from my book, History for Tomorrow. It's rare for our politicians to learn from history. Former British Prime Minister Tony Blair famously ignored the warnings of historians who advised him that invading Iraq would be a disaster. But sometimes they do listen to the wisdom of the past. That's what happened during the Cuban Missile Crisis in October 1962. After a US spy plane photographed secret nuclear missile facilities in Cuba, triggering the crisis, many of US President John F. Kennedy's top advisors argued for a full-scale invasion to take out the missiles that threatened the US population. Kennedy decided on a blockade of Soviet ships carrying nuclear warheads to Cuba. But Soviet Premier Nikita Khrushchev refused to back down, and the world stood on the brink of nuclear war. In the midst of the crisis, Kennedy turned for counsel to a recent work of popular history, Barbara Tuchman's The Guns of August, which chronicled the series of misperceptions, miscalculations, and bungles by political and military leaders that had contributed to the outbreak of the First World War. Kennedy was worried that an aggressive policy response from the US might lead to a similar cascade of decisions that could provoke Khrushchev to push the nuclear button. "I'm not going to follow a course which will allow anyone to write a comparable book about this time, the missiles of October," the president told his brother, Attorney General Robert Kennedy. "If anybody's around to write after this, they're going to understand that we made every effort to find peace and every effort to give our adversary room to move." Historians still hotly debate the key turning points in the Cuban Missile Crisis, yet there is widespread agreement that Tuchman's book played a crucial role in Kennedy's decision to resist the hawks in his administration who wanted to invade Cuba and thereby risk thermonuclear conflict, and to instead take a cautious approach and seek a diplomatic solution, which is what led to the successful resolution of the crisis. Reading the book made Kennedy acutely aware of how a series of mistakes and blunders could produce a major catastrophe. There are books that have helped to start wars, from the Bible to Mein Kampf. The Guns of August is amongst the few that may just have stopped one from happening. To discover more hope from history, check out my book, History for Tomorrow.